Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Happy Friday. For those of you who don't know, my name is Danny, and today I'm here at this random schoolyard, and there's this ledge right here that got me thinking that I should make this video that you already know the title because you can read and you saw the title. Alright guys, so you are seeing this before the video starts, and what I wanted to say is that George and I are actually doing a fortune giveaway on Instagram.
That's right.
These are the boards that we're going to be giving away. A couple of fortune decks. We have another one right there. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be signing them. As you can see right there, George and I just signed these boards. we're going to be signing this one as well. The rules are very simple. You have to be subscribed to both of our YouTube channels. You need to go to our Instagram because that's where the giveaway is going to be happening. You need to follow Jeebus on Instagram here. That's at Jeebus. And you need to be following me on Instagram. And you have to be following Fortune on Instagram. All of the links will be in the description down below and they will have popped up somewhere on the screen. But you also need to leave a comment on this photo, either mine or on Jeebus's.
Or both for 2 entries.
Oh yeah, so yeah, if you want 2 entries, you gotta comment on both of them and do all that good stuff. And yeah, so we're gonna sign this board. That one's already signed, and we're going to be sending these out to y'all very soon. So let's sign this.
Let's get it.
This is actually like stressful, dude.
I know, right?
I'm shaking.
Name's not Jeebus?
Actually, it is Jeebus on my birth certificate, but I prefer George.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's weird. Mine's actually Duckling on my
All right, go win this skateboard, people. Let's get it.
And now let's get into the video.
So obviously I'm going to be helping you guys out with backside 50-50 grinds today, and the reason why is because I was looking at this ledge right here and started thinking, why is it that backside is so much more difficult than frontside to a lot of people? And for me, backside was always easier than frontside. I just felt more comfortable doing that. So I'm going to give you guys my little tips and tricks to getting back 50s down on ledges. Like I said, they're easier for me to do, so I think I should be able to help you guys out a little bit, hopefully. So I'm going to set up the tripod right here, do a few back 50-50s for you guys, and I'm also going to give you guys 3 tips on how you can improve your back 50-50s today. All right guys, so my first tip as to why your back 50s might not be working out or why you just can't seem to get them right is that you might be going at too much of an angle. And typically if you go at too much of an angle, when you pop over to get on, you have to do more of like a shifty kind of ollie. It's a little bit harder to do, so you might just end up overshooting it and landing in a backside feeble grind. And usually backside feeble grinds don't really work on ledges unless you're going for that. Sometimes if you have back 50-50 good enough, you'll be able to kind of power through it and then still kind of pop out as if you just did a back 50. But for the most part, if you don't lock in both trucks, you most likely will not be able to continue the back 50 or get out of the back 50. So make sure that you don't go at such an intense angle. A normal angle is fine. You also don't have to go fully parallel, but as long as you're a little bit more parallel than not, you should be able to get into a good back 50-50 and just grind the whole thing and coast through it. All right, and tip number 2 is going to be to practice on something much smaller in the beginning. You don't even have to start off rolling. Just get right in front of it and practice that ollie and shifting backwards onto it until you feel comfortable getting both of the trucks on the curb or the small ledge or whatever it is that you're trying it on. This is what I did when I was trying to learn this trick, and this is what I do typically when I'm trying to learn any trick on a ledge. I practice it stationary until I feel comfortable getting into it over and over again to where I can now start to add some speed and go onto it much faster. And that will definitely help getting the right lock in to whatever trick that it is that you're trying to learn on a ledge. And tip number 3 is actually something that I learned from George when he was trying to learn back tails. He calls it backside body language, and it's something that I think a friend of his told him, and it makes so much sense to me because if you're ollieing into something backside but your body's like not right and it's kind of turned this way, like if you do a back 50 and your shoulders are still looking straight, then you're most likely going to end up turning this way because your shoulders will continue to move. So when you get onto something backside, you want to make sure that your shoulders are turned this way, so basically looking directly in front of you this way as opposed to directly in front of you this way. This one's going to kind of want to be a little bit turned, but for the most part looking this way so that you're on top of it and ready to kind of pop out this way. Because that's the thing with back 50s, although they end up going straight, for the most part you're popping out in front of you as opposed to a front 50 where you usually end up popping behind you. So if you have that right backside body language and you're feeling good, solid, and confident on the trick, you're gonna be able to grind through it, power through it, and you're gonna be able to get out of it and you're gonna ride away clean. there's a few that I did that were not the best ones. My body's not fully on it, and that's because my backside body language is not as strong as it should have been on those attempts. And that's something that George struggles with as well. So let's go talk to George about these 3 tips and see if he can offer some insight. All right, so let's get George's insight on the 3 tips that I just gave. The first one being the angle. All right, so I think that you don't need to take that big of an angle, because for me personally, it makes me overshoot and get into a feeble, but I know that George takes more of an angle, and let's find out why.
I really like the big angle because when you're going very parallel, so I struggled a lot to figure out how to shift backwards into the back 50. I actually find with more of an angle, you can think about it more like a backside 180. It's more of a dramatic turn, which actually helps me figure out how to float backwards into it. If you're kind of parallel, it feels more like this more awkward, like floating backwards. But if you're going at a big angle, you can almost like scoop it and really shift into the back 50.
I said to go at an angle, but don't go at too much of an intense angle. So basically, with the first tip, it's just find the angle that works for you as opposed to not going, what's up, buddy? Yeah, we are. Huh? Next Friday. Yeah. All right, later, buddy. Yeah, so just find the angle that works for you. For me, it's going at less of an angle. For George, it might be going with a little bit more of an angle.
It really does depend on your star sign. I think that really contributes to how natural.
So Leos don't be like magnetically?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an Aries, so more angle.
I'm a Leo, so if you're a Leo, go at less of an angle. All right, and what do you think about the second tip, which was practice on like a smaller curb, that we can practice that like shifting backwards?
Yeah, that would definitely help. Probably have more confidence with the shift backwards, because there is a scary element to it. Yeah. And that a curb will help with your confidence. So another tip I picked up learning this trick was to actually like put the nose in first and then almost like shift your back truck on after.
I never thought about it like that at all.
I don't think you want to get too deep into that habit because it's not the right way, but it can help you start to figure out how to shift backwards.
That makes sense. And the last tip was having a strong It just passed right in between us. All right, so the third tip is having a strong and confident backside body language. And I just talked about why I think that's important. And it's something that I actually learned from Georgie himself. So what do you think about that, having a strong, confident backside body language?
This is probably the best tip you can give on backside 50. I learned this from my friend Jaron growing up. Essentially, when you're learning backside grinds, there's this temptation to want to see the ledge, especially if you're more natural at frontside 50s.
Right.
So when I learned this trick, I really wanted to see the ledge. So as I'm coming onto the ledge, my upper body is twisting.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
But my lower body is trying to shift back. So I'm literally like twisting this way with my upper body and the other way with my lower body, and it creates this awkward tension and it becomes impossible to do the trick. You have to...
So it's trusting that the ledge is there and that you're going to be able to get on.
Yeah, so if I'm traveling this way, this shoulder really has to be like this, and you have to trust that.
So I said that when you're on it, you should be your body should be looking this way, but your head needs to be this way.
Right. And I mean, back tail like really exemplifies this, because you have to fully like, you can't be like trying to see it.
Right.
And, like, I don't know. It's hard to describe, but it's very important. Like, you really have to really shift, like commit to shifting backwards, and you're gonna be a little blind, but it helps the trick.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's what I said, because I can back 50-50. You can back 50, bro?
Now I can.
Because of this video. So yeah, I hope that this video can help you guys to learn back 50-50s a little bit better. You can kind of start to realize what it is that you're doing wrong with backside 50-50 grinds. This has always been one of my favorites and one of my go-tos to do on ledges and rails. I always go for the backside 50-50 grind because it's easier for me than a frontside 50-50 grind. What you got there, buddy?
Iced coffee.
That's bubble tea?
Iced coffee.
Where's the bubbles?
Iced coffee.
Where's the bubbles?
It's iced coffee.
Dude, that's some weird looking bubble tea.
It's iced coffee.
Is that bubble tea?
It actually looks like dirt water.
Is that Dorito juice?
No.
Then explain this.
Well, are you sponsored?
All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for today's video. I know it was a little bit shorter, but I hope that you guys enjoyed this little skateboarding trick, tip, type thing. I don't really make these kinds of videos, but let me know what you think. Let me know if you want more, maybe I'll do more, but we'll see. I'm gonna actually get going now because I have to hit George in the face. So a very quick recap, follow all the Instagrams that are in the description down below, leave a comment on each of our posts, and you will be entered to win these decks. And yeah.